Today we're going to talk about promotion. We're going to start by looking at above the line, which is all advertising. TV is a very, very popular pastime for people. Many people watch TV, and obviously a lot of companies advertise during TV programs because if you're a mass market company, it's a great way of getting in touch with millions and millions of people. But the long-term trend has been less and less people are watching TV. This can be seen in this graph, which has to do with ESPN, an American sports network. The number of subscribers to ESPN has fallen from about 100 million to 85 million, and that trend may well continue. More and more people are obviously watching videos and what have you on YouTube, or watching live sports on their phone, or watching live sports on their computer. Alright, so TV, it is a good way of getting in touch with lots and lots of people, but it's becoming less popular, and it's obviously very expensive to make the advertisement and in place the advertisement. Radio, young people typically think that radio is something for older people. No one really listens to radio anymore. This graph shows you that this is going from 2013 to 2019. The number of people listening to US digital radio is expected to increase from about 147 million to 191 million. The obvious thing which people will point out about this graph is that a lot of people actually have radio that they pay so they don't have advertisements. But nevertheless, you would think the number of people listening to radio, which is free, but which features advertisements, would probably also be increasing here. So that again might be something which companies are able to take advantage of. Big disadvantage of radio is lacks visuals. Online, obviously, companies can target you, use those wonderful cookies, but I don't personally like online advertisements. I tend to avoid them as much as I can. Billboards, they're visual, they're cheap, but they've a very, very short time to get someone's attention. To a certain extent, posters are similar, they're a lot smaller obviously. They're visual, relatively cheap to produce, but most people probably ignore them. Cinema, highly visual. You can target, if you've got an adult audience, you may well sell very, very different products like cars and what have you, to the types of things you might advertise when you have like 7-year-olds watching the film. Alright, this however does show you that cinema attendance in the United States is in long-term decline. So the average person at about the year 2000 went to the cinema 5 times. By 2017, the average person went to the cinema less than 4 times. So cinema attendance may well have fallen by about 20-25% in the United States, and that may well also be true in European markets. Probably, where I'm making this, in China, cinema attendance has gone like that. Okay, when I first came to China in 2003, there weren't many cinemas, but there's been a huge growth in cinemas. So this comment about cinemas, you have to maybe look at this market by market. Now, below the line promotion is all other forms of promotional techniques. So for example, things like price promotions, the use of loyalty cards, point of sale displays, competitions, free gifts, layout of the store. If you go to the supermarket, it smells very nice, but it's designed in such a way to try and make you walk through the whole store so you spend more money. Or sponsorship. This is an example of a public relations activity to do with the film It. This is taken from the film premiere. Companies hold film premieres and then they get lots and lots of publicity from that. Then, viral marketing. Some of you may remember the Ice Bucket Challenge from a few years ago. This is a very good example of viral marketing because it grew super fast and its message was spread very, very quickly. Alright? But obviously then that is the downfall of viral marketing. There's not that many viral marketing techniques which have been introduced which have had the same impact as the Ice Bucket Challenge. Then we have guerrilla marketing. This is a marketing technique where companies, instead of just say using TV advertising, having billboards, just think outside the box and think what can we do to grab people's attention. This again is taken, I've done this in class with my students. We've looked at a wide range of guerrilla marketing techniques to do with Stephen King films. This is again taken from It. For those of you who've seen the movie, you will know what this symbolizes. It is kind of iconic inside America, especially. Everybody kind of knows who Pennywise is, and they've seen the opening scene, which has to do with this. Someone doesn't come back. All right. So that, if you see it in many cities in America, a lot of people would automatically know what this is about. Okay, and again, that helps spread the word about the movie. Maybe somebody takes a photograph of this, and then maybe it's a little similar to viral marketing, and maybe they send it to their friends who send it to their friends. Maybe people stand beside it and have a photograph taken. Companies that aren't just going to use one form of promotion, they're going to change the promotion maybe depending on the product, depending on where the product is in the product life cycle, depending on the time of year, etc., etc. So a lot will depend if you're a niche or mass market product, how much money the company has, because obviously if you don't have a lot of money you can't do a lot of things, and how effective is the medium for them. Now this, you're probably wondering what this fabric is doing on the screen. This is taken from my cousin. He owns a small retail business in a small town in Northern Ireland, and he does virtually no advertising, but he has a Facebook page, and he will show me. I put this onto the Facebook page, and 24 hours later, there's been 7,000 likes. And I'd be going like, oh my God, 7,000 likes! Which for you, if you live in Los Angeles, you live in New York, you live in Tokyo, you're going, that's not an awful lot. But only something like 30,000, 40,000 people live in the district where my cousin has his business. And I'm like, what do these people, have they nothing to do with their time but to sit and like your updated products which you're selling through your business, and you're putting this on your Facebook account? Have they nothing better to do? And obviously they don't, because he shows me the statistics, and lots of people like everything he puts onto his small business's Facebook page, and that's free for him to use that Facebook page, and he does virtually no other advertising. Does a little bit of sponsorship, I think, of local soccer teams and stuff, because he likes soccer, but does no TV advertising, there's no newspaper advertising, etc., because it's too expensive. Okay, so nevertheless, Facebook is a wonderful way for a small business to get in touch with people in the local community, because a lot of people do use Facebook, especially the type of people who arguably use or go to his shop, because Facebook tends to be used by older people. Instagram is obviously used by younger people. Snapchat obviously used by younger people. So companies need to be very, very aware of that when they're choosing their social media outlet. Recently there's been very many articles about how younger people are avoiding, they're not using Facebook, and they're all going to Instagram. So companies need to be very aware of that. So if you're taking a mass market company like Walmart, they're going to probably use a full array of marketing techniques. So for example, they may use Facebook, they may have price promotions, TV, online advertising. They've got their own website. They might use posters, loyalty cards, point of sale, in-store, lots and lots of advertising going on. Home delivery. However, if you are a vegan food store, and it's arguably the size of this room, or maybe this, which isn't a big room, it's only about 100 square meters, they're going to probably maybe be selling things that are premium price. They may only be selling things that are knocked down price if they're near their expiry dates. They're most likely, as I said, to maybe use things like Facebook, Instagram, social media, because that's free. They might have their own website. They may well think, okay, how can we get a lot of free publicity? We may go to local schools, all right, and talk about that, because again, the school will probably take photographs and put it onto their web page, or there might be things written for the school newsletter. Maybe local websites like Time Out Shanghai or that type of thing will have reviews where people say, oh, there's a really cool vegan shop, and they may have loyalty cards. All right, so companies, depending on their size and who they're aiming at, their promotional mix will obviously be dependent on that and how much money they have. That's all we'll do today.